Oh, yes, and now you do hear audio. I'm really sorry about that. Forgive me, I've talked a lot. This is a model RG3EX FFM 263847537842 6.357-182759328.4.1 R for red. I'm hoping you can hear me now. For some reason, I had my microphone muted. So yeah, I have been talking to you the whole time. So if you miss something, we'll recover a little bit. This thing's got some scratches on the back of it that I'd really love to get out of here. I may have to do some polishing on this, but we shall see. All right. I'm hoping you can hear me now. You should be able to. Just cleaning her up before I put strings on her. And I know this is the fun part. I spend 80% of my time working on guitars, cleaning guitars. Takes a lot of time, but you know, I don't want to send a guitar home with somebody that's all dirty. Then that'd be kind of pointless, right? Get the strings off it, you might as well clean it as well as you can. So that's another thing you should do when you're changing strings on a guitar. Is once you get the strings off of it, if you pull them all off at once, go ahead and clean the whole thing. It really helps, especially if you're going to sell it. I've had guitars come in here that if they were clean, I would have offered them, you know, $200 for it, but they're dirty, so I offer them $50 for it. And that's what's going to happen to you if you try and sell your guitar and you don't have it clean. If you go to a guitar shop and try and sell it, or even what are those little shops called? What are those called where you go in and you sell something for?
Like a pawn shop?
Pawn shop, yeah. Clean your guitar before you take it in there. Just so you know. Alright, so we got this neck all cleaned up, and I got the truss rod off of it, so I'm just going to check the neck, and I'm going to set this neck to be perfectly flat before I start doing anything. So we've got a little bit of a back bow on it right now, so I'm going to loosen the truss rod a little bit. Let's see if I can get it flat. We'll leave that in there. Really. Boy, I like Ibanez guitars. They just respond so nicely. One little turn like that and that neck is perfectly flat. Well, not perfectly. I'm going to bring it back just a hair. See if I can. There's a little bit of a. Boy, that thing works good. You know, this is a really cheap Ibanez guitar. I mean, if you buy it brand spanking new, these are not terribly expensive. Probably $500 maybe, $400. Yeah. For them to respond so well, better than Gibsons and Fenders both combined. Okay, so we got the neck all flat, so now we're going to just string it up, and we'll do this. Yeah, Ed, I'm sorry about that. I should have had that checked. I don't know why that was muted. You know how Windows machines, they just change shit anytime they just want to, especially if Windows doesn't update, which I would love to never have to have an update. When stuff just works good, you know, but we sign away for that in our agreement to be able to use Windows. They say, we can fuck your computer up anytime we want, thinking we'll make it better. Right? Apple does the same stuff, only they make you pay for it. Subscriptions and all that, right? Anyway, so let's see what we got.
What's that, buddy?
You guys say how much you guys charge? Do you guys charge to install?
Yeah, if it's from somewhere else, it's $95 an hour.
Okay, what if I buy it from here?
then we have to charge the parts and minimal a little bit sometimes.
Okay, so yeah, okay, so I'm gonna. I know you probably can't see what I'm doing here. We'll get you pointed in the at the action. So we're using a set of 10 to 10 to what are they, 46 on this thing.
99.
And
I'd have to look at it because there's a couple of those that have a.
these ferrules are all stayed put. That's good. Sometimes they'll fall out of the back of these guitars, so you want to be real careful and pay close attention to that. Usually on Ibanez, though, they're pretty well installed, but on Fenders, those notoriously, these little ferrules will pop out of those ones. So you got to be careful and pay attention to that as best you can. And you're changing strings. I can't wait to get this thing tuned up, because drop C tuning is really fun to play in. And in the process of putting strings on this and getting it tuned up to drop C, we're going to do an intonation setup also on this to make sure it's right. And then I'll share with you a little bit about the alterations, the customization I did on this guitar. And again, that might look a little strange to you, right? So that might be a little odd to those of you who might play an Ibanez guitar. So now we'll do the boring part, get the strings on them. The nut seems to be cut really nicely.
But I mean, I've done them, so it's not like I have, you know what I'm saying, no, because I would definitely consider it. But just use the front speakers.
Try and get this done as quickly as I can.
Yeah, I want to do some speed.
Yeah, it's something good to install.
All I like to see what you got. Oh my gosh, it'd be like these sides right here.
Yep, nothing there. That's all just filling holes. That's all old stuff. I don't even sell anymore. I do Rockfords usually, or power bases, whichever one fits the best. You know, these are like I said.
Oh, really old shit.
Yep, it's just too many times I put them in there. I have to pull them back out on the new model, so I just end up having to pull them right back out. So I just quit putting them in there. I just let I don't even have this up here because it looks interesting. Stereos are your biggest thing in that car. Are you looking for a disc player or just a Bluetooth deck?
Probably a disc player.
Okay.
And then are these what you have? Like, do you sell these?
Well, right here. I got in the back. I have the disc player version of that. I got it saved for somebody, but they're not going to be in for a long time to get it. So I'll just read. It basically looks just like that, but it has a CD player. Yeah. It's about $200 for the deck, and about 60 in parts. And then your speakers would be $129 for the front doors. And then we'd have to, and as I'm saying 16 parts unless it's a lock and dock, which we got to look at and make sure.
Dude, are you giving stuff away again?
I'm trying to, because that's a lot of labor on that car.
Yeah.
It's one of those cars I normally charge a whole bunch of labor.
Good boy.
I'll get this on real quick.
How much you guys sell these punches for?
2, 3.
Bluegrass steering. This is so. I do not.
I'm gonna let Stu help you with that. I'm in the middle of doing something here, man. I can't be interrupted. I'm sorry. This is what I do here, man. I gotta do it.
Well, I'd have to look at it and see what. If there's you said there's a drain on the battery. Okay, yeah. There's always a little teeny bit of drain. So he pulled the one out for the amp. Is that an amp and sub in there, or is it the? Okay. Okay, yeah, that's where it's supposed to be. That's up at the battery. Yeah. Normally that doesn't draw any juice at all when you have that fuse in there. And so we just need to look.
Hey Jack, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Long time no see. I heard a song that you were supposed to sing on recently. I got a little taste of it. Tim hit me up about a mix on one. That was pretty cool. It was fun to get to hear that.
That's common. That's normal.
That son of a gun didn't put a guitar solo on it though. Made me jealous. Cool to hear from Tim. I don't hear from him very often anymore. I don't hear from anybody anymore.
Well, I'll have to get you on the calendar here.
Mark has helped me with my computer recently, but cool song Tim put together. The production was really nice on that, as always. I would expect nothing less. Have you been playing much guitar, Jack? And I want to send you my best wishes, also, brother. I know there's some crazy stuff going on in the world right now, and I'm sure a lot of that means a lot to you. I hope everything your family's doing well. Everybody. I had a buddy I met here that he was in LeGrand, and he was actually an Israeli citizen, and it was really cool to meet him. And that was I think the summer before last. I don't know. I don't think he even gave me a song title. It didn't have your vocals on it. I think Tim just had vocals on it. But it was really cool to meet him, and I've kept in touch with him. He came over to my home. He was such a sweet guy. Dude, this guy was so talented. He had videos and a YouTube channel with all sorts of stuff on it. I know I sent him a message not too long ago. He had a very interesting name. Well, I mean, it was just kind of, let's see, hang on, Myron Egger. He was such a cool guy, and I haven't heard from him in a couple of years, but he was just traveling. He was here in the United States and bought a RV, like a little one, and he just was driving around our country and checking it out. He was such a cool guy. But when I met him here at our shop, and we were talking about recording, and he's still working on stuff. And I think I was probably working on a song with you at the time, Jack. And I know he heard some stuff that we recorded together. But I haven't been able to reach him recently, and I don't know if in between then and now he has gone back home or what he's doing. But I just hope that he's safe, because he was such a great guy. And dude, he was an Adonis. That guy was so handsome. Holy smokes. Not gay. I'm not gay, but he was a hottie. So I think the girls liked him. So what I'm going to do real quick is just set this guitar up. And then we'll get the intonation and stuff. So the first thing I'm going to check, now that I've got the guitar in tune, and this is the tension that's going to be on the neck, the first thing I'm going to check is the neck relief. I'm going to set this one to way less neck relief. I typically set it to about 10 thousandths on a guitar like this. And even, okay, so keep in mind that before I did this, before I even started doing this, I remember that I made the neck perfectly flat. The wood on the neck, not the frets. I checked the wood on the neck to make sure the fingerboard was perfectly flat, and already it's more than 11 thousandths of an inch of neck relief out here in the middle of the neck. And so I need to straighten it up a little bit. So just the string tension alone is giving the neck pretty good relief. But I'm going to tighten this truss rod, and this is the Mojo. I don't have like a 6 thousandths of an inch feeler gauge. I probably do. But I'm looking at how much my feeler gauge moves that string and how much I can move it down in areas. And I am going to call that really good. That seems very nice. And now, the next thing that this gentleman loves, young man, I should say, he's a really cool dude. The guy that owns this guitar, his name is Wolf. And I do have his full name, but it has like 48 letters. That's his first name, so he goes by Wolf, right? And he is a really sweet guy, and he knows what he wants in his guitars. Okay, so we've got the neck relief set, so now I'm gonna start setting up the string action. And on this one, we are going to go ultra low because that's what this guy likes. Yeah, crazy world. Yeah, and it's been a while, Jack. I wrote you I don't know, a month ago or whatever it was, and I haven't heard back from you yet. But I'm totally used to that. I don't hear from many people at all because since I moved to Mars, it's been pretty lonely actually. Living here on Mars it's so far for my family to come visit. It's like a 4-hour car drive to get from where they live to Mars, right? And so anyway, and phone calls are difficult to make in this day and age also, with phone service being so hard to get. It's just and you can smell my sarcasm, I'm sure. Let's see. So we're gonna go for that's looking good. I'm gonna go for 3/64 here on the low E string, and let's see. We're gonna do the. Oh boy, man, I nailed it. Okay, so we're gonna keep string action like super duper low on this thing, because this guy likes his string action ultra low, which is fine. I can appreciate that. And we got a hole here that is what am I looking for? It's gotten some sweat and gucking stuck in it, so really got some cool stuff to look forward to coming up in the next month and a half or so. Got a live show going to do on New Year's Eve, and we're going to go ahead and record the band live that night, because we have plenty of time to set up our sound system and the room, and we're getting they're paying us a really fair wage for our time. We're all actually getting paid a legitimate wage to play our music for people, so we're going to go in a little bit early and set up our full light show, and set it up to record the night, video and audio. So my band's going to have some pretty cool promotional material coming up. Boy, I'm going to call that good. So this string action, you know, already is pretty darn low on this guitar. I'm going to make some small adjustments here. And the thing is, I'm really looking for is to keep these saddles perfectly flat. This one is a little bit off. There we go. Cool, cool. All right, that's 3. Okay, I gotta bring this. This one's got to come down just a hair. Had a really good time playing live with my buddies in my band. These guys, they are all really, really solid musicians and really, really cool people. So it's great to have a band that has guys that, you know, I get along with so well, and everybody helps so much, and we all look out for one another. And our gigs are always really fun. Believe it or not, we actually we do have a fun time setting our gear up and tearing it down. Pretty interesting to be able to say that, because we all have our job that we do, and everybody does their job very well. Our drummer knows exactly what he wants, and our bass player knows exactly what he wants. Okay. All right, let's tune it back. Okay, so there we are, drop C tuning. Got the string action right. I'm just gonna play it here for a moment just to see how it feels. I have not done the intonation on it yet, but I just want to see how it feels. Actually, hello, Cheapy Jackson is missing the saddle. PL. Are they universal? I don't know what you mean by PL, LP. Oh, so it's a Tune-o-matic. Dude, I have one here I could probably mail you, and I'm not kidding. Yeah, I'm waiting for Elon to show up, and my sister and brother and cousins, and because I've gone to see all of them on Earth, back on Earth, several times. Okay. Let's see here. So, and while I'm playing this thing, I'll tell you guys a little bit about what I did to this instrument. We'll talk about that. Tune-o-matic. They are pretty much universal. I believe that there are metric and standard versions of the Tune-o-matic saddles. And I... So there's oh, sorry, my camera pointed in the wrong. My camera guy's drunk today, you guys, so forgive me for that. He drinks a lot. one thing that he had complained about, and after looking at this guitar, I saw a couple frets that looked like they were popping up out of here. Now I'm probably going to end up chasing frets here for a little while, so let's let's do this where I can have a little more authority, because you know my favorite thing to do, my favorite thing in the world to do is to I love hitting guitars with hammers. Let's see, tunematic. Yeah, on a tunematic. This fret is a little bit tall. Okay, yeah, so this whole fret has popped up out of the fret slot. What did we get? Oh, look at that.
I need to go to the bank real quick and I'll be right back.
Okay, sounds good. Alright, let's see if that didn't... Boy, I'm going to have to smack the shit out of that thing. It's definitely, I mean, I can see a big old gap underneath this fret. Isn't that a cool sound? I can make some guitars make some really awesome sounds. Now the thing is, you don't want to hit the strings with your hammer. Oh, my camera guy, sorry, my camera guy is drinking again. You just don't want to hit the... You want to make sure not to hit the string with your hammer. You know, famous last words. Alright. Sometimes you just gotta get mean. You gotta get angry with it. So, we may end up having to do a fret level on this thing, given what I'm seeing here. In fact, I'm going to stop right where I'm at now, because I've done this enough and long enough. How long have I done this? 40 years. I'm going to have to say that this guitar needs a fret level and crown. Yeah, it wasn't bouncing too much, but I appreciate that. I have a neck block right here that was within an inch of it, but now I've got that fret. All I'm going to do at this point is just chase frets all the way down the fingerboard till the point that I end up pounding them all in and none of them are going to be level. So unfortunately, what I need to do is go through and beat all of these frets back into the fingerboard. A lot of them have pulled up. When the wood shrinks, sometimes in the middle of the fret, you know, it's bent with the radius, they'll push up a slight little bit. this entire guitar is going to have that done. So I realize that I'm not terribly entertaining, so I'm going to go and I got a lot of work left to do on this thing. It just became a bigger job, so I got to get to it. Thanks you all for tuning in, and I know you guys, it seems like most people would rather be able to do nothing with their time, and I appreciate that. That's fun. I enjoy it too. So I just try and put stuff up that where folks can learn. If you run into something like this, where you got a fret that's popped up and you start knocking it down, and then the next fret's worse, and then you're going to be chasing frets for the rest of the time you're working on that guitar. So don't waste your time. Get the strings off of it, level the frets, then you have a level playing field and you'll be able to set the guitar up properly. So, peace y'all. Have a really wonderful day. Sure. Yes, actually, you should be able to find my my email address is on my About page. So if you go to my About page on my YouTube channel, my email address is readily available right there. I'm sure that I've got one or two of those laying around here. In fact, I never throw anything away. I know I do. Guarantee it. I need to know what color of the one is that you pulled out of there. And here's another thing that I recommend. I don't know what your financial situation is, and if you're able to spend some money on your guitar, but I will say this. I've bought a full set of Graphtec saddles for a Tune-o-matic bridge, a Les Paul style bridge, and I put them on my black Les Paul and my Gibson, my SG. One of the best moves I've ever made. So, you know, if you're missing one fell out, if you're willing to spend a little bit of money, oh, it's silver. Okay. You might, you know, consider buying a set of Graphtec, and I'm just throwing it out there as an idea because they're not hard to change. It's a pretty easy job to do, obviously. It's one little screw usually. And if it's an Epiphone, is it an Epiphone? Or you said it was a Jackson. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll tell you what, man, those Graphtec saddles it's one of the best things I've ever done on a Tune-o-matic bridge. So just throwing it out there. But send me your address, email address, and or your mailing address, and I'll mail you one. Okay. A black one. Okay. I can't promise that I have a black one. Okay. Oh, cool, cool. Yeah, Ed, hitting a guitar with a hammer is really fun, but definitely do it with one of these. Don't do it with a regular hammer. You will fuck those frets up bad, I promise. Oh, the whole bridge is missing. Ooh. The whole bridge is missing. Okay. In that case, you need to be able to measure the center to center points of the bridge pins on the either side of that, because there are definitely a multitude. I didn't realize it was a whole bridge missing. There are definitely multitudes. It's not like they'd make them all 2 3/4 inches wide. I mean, why would any guitar manufacturer do something that's the same as another guitar manufacturer? That would be against all rules of physics and business, right? So you might have a 2 7/16, or you might have a 2 15/16, or you might have a 2 13/16, or a 2 3/4 spread, or something different. And you need to know what that is between those center points of those pins in order to have the right one. Yeah, that's unfortunately there's nothing standard. You could probably go to Jackson's website and find out what the spread is on that, although guitar manufacturers are not very hip on sharing any measurements of their guitars, just because somebody like me would find them and make my job easy, right? Yeah. Okay, you guys, thanks for hanging with me today. I got to get going. I got to get a fret level and crown done on this thing. There we go. Peace.